Oh, so we live. Bet. What up, people? Corey Bliss back here. We got Lee's Fight Club, Season 2, Episode 1. I'm here with my brothers, The Teal Show and Ninja Deuce. Say what up to the folks.
What's going
Yo,
on?
yo, what up, what up?
We want to apologize for the delay. We have been absent for over 2 months.
It be like that sometimes.
Life happens, man. Life fucking happens. But but we back though. It's kind of good we took a hiatus off because we got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover. Not gonna cover it all in this first episode, but it's a good starting point. As you know, this season 2, episode 1. So I guess we should let the people know what we've been up to in the last 2.5, almost 3 months we've been gone. Come on, Till, let us know what's popping off.
I've been playing Street Fighter 5 and losing. It's kind of summer. That's a summary of my summer. Playing Street Fighter 5 and losing, nearly breaking the fight stick that Corey gave me a few times.
Yeah, it's been rough. I mean, we've been missing a lot because in real life, we've all kind of been prospering. Everybody got new jobs and new significant others. Real life kind of hit us hard in a good way. So it's been a good reason why we've been missing each other as far as linking up for the show. So I apologize to all of our fans that was looking for us every other Saturday. But yeah, we all making a little bit more money now. We can afford more video games, so that's always a good thing. But yeah, for some reason we went to Evo and we came back and I don't know what happened. We lost our powers.
Man, I didn't even go when I feel like I lost my powers, man.
Yeah, we kind of all hit some sort of weird slump in fighting games right after Evo. I know me and Corey, we both kind of peaked, and we're feeling really good at Evo. We did well at Evo. It came back and was like, why can't I do anything? So we don't know what happened. We need a sensu bean.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, Evo was definitely dope. It was first time a lot of us got together and kick it with each other. Me, Deuce, Overlord, Rose was there. The arcade folks, Robin and Jers was there. Our homeboy Battle out of New York was there. Currently like top 500 on the leaderboard, so shout out to him. He got his groove back. But every last one of us hit a wall at the Evo. Like I'm talking about, like we got back and it was just like you couldn't win a match. Don't know what happened, but man, but it was such a good time though. It was kind of it didn't affect it as much until like here we are 2-3 weeks after Evo and we still getting washed. Don't know what happened. It's just like whatever. But I found my rhythm back when I started picking up another character with Vega. That kind of gave me my groove back, my confidence back. I started having fun again, and as of lately, I've been doing back to being okay, stuff like that. Still ain't where I want to be, but as y'all say, real life happens and stuff like that. But dude, she was out there at Evo with me. We were supposed to do a live vlog or whatever from out there. We didn't get the chance to do that, so I want you to let the people know how was your experience. How did you feel about it? What
Why
did
did you
it mean for you?
Well, Evo was cool. It was a lot of planning that went into it so that we can all get there and be together so that we tried to get a show going, but the way things kind of turned out while we were kind of going back and forth between the convention center and Mandalay Bay, the opportunity and the time just didn't present itself to be able to actually do our show like we wanted to, because we were trying to actually be at the convention center and it was a lot going on, so we were kind of thrown off by that, so that threw us off. Probably should have took some more video to post for you guys, but unfortunately we weren't able to do that either because of some privacy laws that they made us sign to, so we can only record some stuff that we thought we were going to be able to record more than what we wanted to. But as far as The event, it was cool. It was my first time down to Evo. I mean, been to some local tournaments, but haven't been to a big major. So, and definitely not Evo before. So, for the first time going to a real major, it was cool. It was more organized than I expected it to be, which was good. And even with all the thousands and thousands and thousands of people, they did a good job organizing it and keeping everybody on time for the most part. Some little brackets were behind, but they did a good job keeping everything moving. So that was impressive to me in such a large scale. I'm not sure how much of a clusterfuck it was when they had it in Bally's or in other hotels, but having it at the convention center gave it that good amount of space
Mhm.
so that they could handle it appropriately. So I think it went pretty well as far as an organized event, and it was just flat out fun. I mean, having all those games going on at the same time, you hear the Smash players going off in one corner, Guilty Gear players going off in one corner, and obviously Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat players going off in the middle. It was crazy. There's lots of good matches, lots of heat, and I'm sure anybody watching this probably saw other Evo wrap-up stuff, but um, personally, as far as like performance wise, felt good about Street Fighter. Surprisingly, actually wasn't my what I would think would be my stronger game going into Evo, but actually did pretty good. Went 2-2, didn't get washed, and that was important. That we said this in our last show. Our whole goal was not to get perfect, and not, so that happened. Went up there and won some matches. So which was pretty good. And, lost some matches. And funny enough, the matches that I lost, I felt like I really had a good chance on winning. So that was a confidence builder. Maybe I had too much confidence because, like we've been talking about, came home and then all of a sudden that was not the case. Came home and been getting beat up like a nerdy middle schooler. So don't know what happened, but we'll figure it out. I started picking up Ibuki since then. And trying to pick some stuff up. But Vegas was fun. I think we had a good time. We were able to laugh a lot while we were there, which probably lent to us doing fairly well in our individual pools at Evo. So I think we had a flat out good time. Folks got drunk. We had fun. We partied. It was Vegas, so so that was still fun. But as far as Evo, it was crazy. I still can't get over the hype of Sunday at Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
I mean that arena was ridiculous. How they had the characters projected onto the arena floor so that it showed up on TV. If anybody watched it on ESPN, they know what we were talking about,
Hmm.
and it was crazy. I didn't even really care about Marvel, but let me tell you how Marvel's grand finals was just insane. I mean, you just couldn't help, even if it's something that you don't even really watch or play. It was just exciting to watch. Same thing with Smash. I don't even play Smash. I don't watch Smash. I don't know tech Smash. I don't know any Smash tech or anything like that. But I watched this dude use Jigglypuff, and I was sitting there like, that's my man.
Yeah.
I was hyped with him, hyped for him, and I just couldn't believe it. Was just I didn't even know what was going on the screen, but the whole arena was just going crazy, and I was like, "This is crazy." I mean, it was just insane excitement, and it was. I haven't even been to a sporting event where I was that hype and pulled into what was going um, on the stage, I guess, or on the field. I mean, I've been to pro football games, college football games, basketball games, baseball games, hockey games, and I haven't been that pulled into in sports that I love and grew up in love. And I'm a big athlete. Haven't been that hype for stuff that I don't care about. That's like me going to a a cricket match and being hype about it. Like I don't watch cricket, but I wouldn't be able to be hype about it because I don't know what's going on. But watching Smash and Guilty Gear and Marvel, there's games that I don't really play like that, and still being just as hype, that says something. So, but that was kind of, in summary, my take as far as how I felt about the weekend. It was a lot of hype, a lot of fun. Definitely want to do it again. They mentioned Evo Japan. That'd be like a dream trip if we can figure out how to make that happen. Because I say I always want to go to Japan. That gives me an excuse to kind of get over there to actually figure out a way to time an event to go. But so that'd be cool too. So how'd you do at Evo, Corey? You played some Tekken too.
Yeah, I played 3 games: Tekken, MK, Street Fighter. I was I didn't play bad, but I was definitely disappointed because I felt like I kind of had a cakewalk with Street Fighter. But I had some technical difficulties to where my buttons broke mid match. So
Mm.
mid match, my buttons on my controller just messed up. I knew it was something bad because like I was standing full screen, and Deuce was like, "Yo, why didn't you do that move?" And I'm sitting there pressing my heavy punch button. I look at Deuce, Deuce look at me, and nothing's coming out. And he's like, "Yep, you're done." So I tried fighting through it. I tried going through it, but it was just I didn't know the rules. So if I know what I know, I could have asked for like a different stick, or like I could have like had enough time to swap the buttons around to the working ones because I don't use the 4 button setup. I use 3 on the fight stick. Could have swapped it around and did something, but first experience, whatever. I still played. I think I played pretty well. The guy that I lost to came all the way from Australia. He was a Geef player. It's pretty damn good. He made it. He almost made it to like top 128 or something like that. He was like 1 win away. So I mean, I didn't lose to a bum or a scrub, and so I mean that was definitely fun. MKS, I didn't even feel like playing. By that point, we were tired. We had been up since like we were sleeping maybe 2, 3 hours a day. That was the last game I had to play to get out of pools or whatever. I didn't go on 2, but I just had no desire to get past it. Like it just, but surprisingly, Tekken was the most fun for me. We were sitting there playing. I picked Lars because that's what I mained in tag 2. But with it being T7, I haven't played it. Some things have changed. I'm kind of off. But I kind of got washed first match, and I told Deuce, I said, "Yo, Deuce, if I get bopped, I'm just gonna say fuck it and pick a Kuma and just go with it." And I pick a Kuma and I win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Terrible.
yeah, like I off of basic Street Fighter fundamentals, low forward fireballs and air tatsus and a bunch of random stuff. But that was definitely fun. I got to meet Lupe, got to meet Daigo, got some pictures with Ono, got pictures with Harada. Like the experience of it is definitely something that makes you want to continue doing it.
Mm.
It's one of those things that was like I haven't felt that good in a long time. And, I was out there with my friends, people I consider family damn near, and like we always just out there having a good time, having fun. Were no issues, nobody got stuck anywhere. Or, like it was just a great time, and it's like something I want to do yearly. But now that I've been to Evo, I've been to a major tournament, competed against some pretty solid players. I know what to expect now. You can practice better, you can train better, you can do whatever. But I really spent a lot of time. I probably spent the most time out of anybody just there at the convention center, watching, playing, just soaking it all in. Because I was like, man, it was just you in a room with all the best players that you watch on Twitch all day or YouTube, and here I can watch them play in person. I got to see some pretty dope matches firsthand. Like one of my favorite matches I got to watch was MVT Flash and Infiltration. Like I literally sat right next to Infiltration and was watching them play, and I'm like, it's like a marvel to watch them do their thing or see the best player in the world play that up close and personal. But yeah, Evo is definitely dope. I'm looking forward to traveling to more tournaments. As Deuce said, Evo Japan would be a dream trip. Somehow, some way, I would like to make that happen. Evo Vegas again next year. I'm gonna try my best to make that happen. Till you had planned to be out there with us, couldn't make it, but you probably watched just as much as anybody else, and you was definitely in
Mhm.
tune. What
Yeah.
did you see from the from the spectator side of the folks that wasn't out there?
Well, the main thing was that Street Fighter was going on ESPN2 on Sunday. Top 8 was on ESPN2. Um, it 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 was amazing to see on TV. Like the production of it was incredible. It was very aesthetically pleasing. Like you wanted to be tuned in, even if you didn't really care about fighting games. You just kind of wanted to see what it was about based on the presentation alone. And the Capcom guys were saying that that was just their people. Like all ESPN did was say, here's our cameras. Like they put the production and stuff together. Like ESPN didn't touch that stuff. So that shows you what they can do with a bigger budget, and it's only going to get bigger. Like, you can't really get much bigger than ESPN, right? So this is probably not that's not going to be the first year it happens. It's probably going to be prime time. But the counter to that is the games are going to get bigger and the entries are going to get bigger. So I don't know how they're gonna work that out time wise, because it was over like almost 2 in the morning, East Coast time. So like it was lengthy, but it was definitely worth it if you stayed up and watched the whole thing. Infiltration, he won. We all kind of figured he was going to. So yeah, but overall, man, Evo, it just seemed bigger this year. Like overall, not just because Street Fighter was on cable, but it just seemed bigger in general this year. Even like even though like Killer Instinct kind of lost its luster, but it just felt bigger. Like Marvel, like you said, Marvel finals were hype, Smash finals were hype. Um,
I mean, yeah, you had 5,000 people enter to play Street Fighter alone.
right.
And they
So
said
it
there's
just
like between spectators and players, like 10,000 people there total. Like,
yeah
that's ridiculous.
yeah just for some fighting games. So like it's getting bigger. The FGC is gonna get bigger. So they're gonna make some more money, but what comes with that money comes sponsorships, and then they start putting regulations on what can and cannot happen on these streams or at these tournaments or what have you. So, but definitely on the spectator side, Evo was amazing.
Yeah, my only issue with the way it happened was I feel like a lot of people didn't get to watch that. They got to see two of the top five players in the world with Infiltration and Fudo. Got it.
Hmm.
But they didn't get to see overall characters. We had three Nashes.
Yeah,
We had a Vega, all the other Chun Li's, and the Ken. So it was just like we didn't get the essence of Street Fighter by seeing all the different characters. We kept
there
thinking
was no
the same
review,
thing.
man. There
Yeah.
was no.
Now to us, the play was definitely beautiful because we was
Oh yeah.
appreciating every little thing. Like
Hmm.
to watch Infiltration say download complete and know what
Man,
you meant by that, that was amazing. But like to the average eye, we on ESPN. Average person like, oh, well, everybody picked the same character. This sucks. It's sort of
yeah.
like
Yep.
watching how the Madden tournaments used to be when everybody would pick the same exact team that was the best, and you just watching the mirror match. So same
Hmm.
thing, but man, that was definitely amazing. Grand finals on Sunday was like I didn't think we was gonna be there that much. We were there, but it was so good. Like me and Deuce was just like we just gonna kick it here today. Like there's really no reason not to lead. And like one of the best things was like how we all sports fans and you can relate what was happening to sports. Like watching Chris G win Marvel was like watching that was like watching LeBron, this year in the finals. He had he had a road. He got through Justin Wong, and then he got
Hmm.
the KBR, who's the reigning champ, which would have been the Warriors. He's the Cavs, and when you thought it line, it's gonna be rough for him. He just made it work and won, and he was well deserving. That Smash Finals was incredible. Like I ain't seen so many people that hype for Jigglypuff as
You
like
were.
but it was just ridiculous, man. But once again, I'm glad I was able to experience that, especially experience it with my friends, my family. That was definitely dope. But as we said at the beginning of the show, we all hit like hit a wall, hit a wall at the Evo. We struggling to get back to what we was playing after or playing during Evo. Till by you being someone didn't unfortunately wasn't able to compete with us, but yeah, you still hit a wall. You
Man.
felt something was missing. Like, what do you think attributed to you getting to that point, and what are you doing currently to get out of it?
Um, I feel like okay, so in the previous season, we talked about online play and we talked about getting better through online play. And one thing that we discussed is that online play has a lot of people who who play with their brains off. They just kind of press the buttons with their face. So this happens a lot. No matter how I'm in, you're in the silver ranking, even that high, there's still random people. So for me, when people when I play somebody and they do something random, it used to like really, really get to me. Like I would not necessarily be on tilt to the point where I couldn't do any moves, but I couldn't think as well as I do if I'm calmer. So, um, yeah, like I lost a bunch of points, and it wasn't even about the points. It was just about the fact of how I lost and why I was losing. I didn't feel like I was getting outplayed, and I also didn't feel like I was learning anything through losing. So it started to lose its purpose. And one day I was playing and I was losing. And when I say losing, I don't even mean like I was losing so much. Like the wins kind of, I feel like overall the wins were more than the losses anyway. It just was why, like I said, it was just why I was losing and how I was losing. But one day, like maybe a couple weeks ago, I was just like completely frustrated, but I kept playing, right? And I was completely frustrated. Like I was over it. I was like, it was visible, it was audible. Like I was over it, and I needed that day to just kind of like let it all out. And then I took a couple days off, and then the next day, like, and ever since then, it's just kind of been this calm, like regardless of who I'm playing, what's happening in the match. Like I don't visibly react, and I realized that visibly reacting to these things is why I can't think straight. Because then now I'm focused on what happened in that last thing, and the match is still going on. So you just kind of got to put it out your mind and like, okay, that was random, that was stupid, and you just kind of keep it moving. Like you got to stay calm in those moments, and that's how the great players like they make those comebacks against other great players. Like it's easy to make a comeback on somebody that doesn't know what they're doing,
Yeah.
but when you're playing somebody that's also knowing what they're doing and they're probably better than you, and you can still make that comeback, that means that you have the mental fortitude to think through all that, and you have a clear mind and you're not like panicking. Like that's you got to get that panic out of your game. So that's kind of how I've overcome it. Like I'm like Corey said in the beginning, I'm not where I want to be. I do feel like I've gotten better, but it's not because I unlock something about my character. It's about the fact that I can mentally think through situations a little better, even better than before. Like when in the previous Street Fighter game, Street Fighter 4, like I didn't have high execution, I didn't have long focus attack combos into Ultra, I didn't have all that stuff, but I would win because I would just stay calm and just like play the ground game. And that's one thing I feel like that I was missing. I was missing a lot in my ground game. Like it's really hard to learn what buttons to press if you're not doing, your most damaging combo. Like when you're trying to get straight hits, like it's really tough in that game to learn what buttons to press.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you got to factor in the fact that the game's only been out 7 months. So you gotta you gotta keep that in mind when you're learning these games. Yes, these pro players play 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, whatever, plus playing against other pro players and tournaments and all that. But still, for the average person, 7 months to learn something is not that long of a time, especially when you have everyday lives to attend to. So your learning curve isn't as bad as you think. You just kind of gotta say, okay, I should see some progress, and even if your progress is in, okay, I can do this combo, and maybe you can't land it in the match or get the opportunity to land it in the match, but you are seeing yourself get better some way, and then it's a matter of learning the game and learning the game's nuances. You're not gonna learn that game in 7 months. Fighting games are different than any other genre in the fact that you're playing against somebody else. And because you're playing against somebody else, the way they interpret the game factors into how you interpret it. So it's no there's no binary way to learn Street Fighter 5 outside of you probably should press more buttons than you
Yeah.
do.
Press all the buttons.
But outside of that, and given the fact that the roster is expanding and characters haven't even been out the full 7 months, like there's still stuff to unlock. Like I just saw Daigo do low forward into V trigger, and I had never seen that in the 7 months of the game. So like they're still learning and learning new ways to perform in this game. So I feel like that's the most important thing. Like just take your time, understand that you haven't played it as long as you think, and that you will that you trust that you'll get better. Trust the process, like Sam Hinkie says. Trust the process.
Exactly. Yeah. It's been a long road. I think I hit a wall. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I started picking up Ibuki, which is probably the truth because I started learning a new character. It's like, but I feel like I hit that wall anyway with Rashid, which is who I mainly use with on Street Fighter. I hit that wall regardless, and I think in to try to ignore the wall, I picked up Ibuki so I can blame it on, oh, I'm learning a new character, and so just making excuses. But I don't know. I just been trying to figure it out. Ibuki, for one, is a really tough character to use. She is really squishy. She cannot take any hits, and she's very execution heavy, which is actually one of my weak points. So I'm going to continue to use her because if anything else, it's going to help me with my execution, so that when I'm going back and forth between characters, hopefully, as I'm building on one aspect of my game, it relates to the other, and eventually it all come together. The same reason why I started picking up on with some defensive characters as well to help me with my defense and being more patient because that's definitely not my forte. Gotta rush them down if I can. So yeah, no, it got to definitely hit some more buttons. It's double XP weekend, so I'm excited about that. I'm just or double fight money weekend, should I say? So I'm going to jump on there probably once we get off of here and find food, but then I'm gonna be on Street Fighter for a while, so I can try to figure out break through this wall. If I got to put some C4 on it, that's so be it. But Corey, how you picked up new character? You picked up Vega recently.
Hmm.
How what made you switch to Vega?
Not really a switch. It's I had to sit there and think because the same wall you guys hit, I definitely hit myself. I got to the point to where like I lost like almost 2,000 points in like a day. I couldn't win a match, and it got to the point where I wasn't having fun because I wasn't winning anymore. Winning is definitely fun, but at the same time, I was playing more by myself because of our schedule was and stuff like that. I wasn't able to play with y'all, and playing with y'all is what keep me sane. Like I play with y'all because y'all know how to play the game. I play the right way. It keeps my fundamentals good. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me honest. Versus you playing online and you play against gimmicks and all types of stuff. You lose your way a lot. So I had to get back to what made me start being good at Ultra, which was when I started playing all the characters. Ultra, I started playing every character possible, just clicking random and learning how to play them to the best of my ability on the most competent level possible. And I thought Vega was cool when I first seen him, especially when they said he wasn't a charge character. I was like, oh snap, oh cool, I'll pick him up. And then Battle in our team,
Yeah,
Chris Battle. That man is so godlike when he wants to be.
yeah.
He did some stuff and we played out there in Vegas at Evo and I was like, man, this character is ridiculous. And I was like, man, he could be so good. And I'm such a huge I'm a Flash fan. I like Flash. I think he's another Vega player. And I love Nemo because Nemo he's all about styling on you. He's a Vega player. And I was like, man, I need another character that I can play at a competent level that I'm okay. And we got all the reviews in the world and we got all the Kens and stuff. And I was like, you know what? It's not that many Vega players. Let me see if I can pick this character up and see what I can learn. And it just felt natural. I try to play everybody, so I can understand what I'm doing wrong or why it works. But I don't know. Vega just felt good. He feels good to play. I can kind of play him brainless. Like I could turn off my brain and just play the game. I play Nash. I feel like I have to think so much because as good of a character he is, people want to argue he's top five. He has so many flaws, and but you're only going to expose those flaws the smarter the player you are. Or sometimes the more random the player you are, it will play to your it won't be in your benefit. So I just had to find something to keep me wanting to play with our and stuff like that. I couldn't play the way I wanted to play. Like I've been wanting to come like the last 2 days. It was Thursday. I wanted to come home and play so bad, but the server was down. I was like, ah, so I couldn't play. So then next day I want to come home and play. PSN is down. I'm like, yo, like it just always was just something, and I was like, man, I just had to. But I think I'm finally getting to it. And I think something all of us need to start doing is we got to start giving ourselves more credit that we're better than sometimes we let ourselves believe.
Hmm.
You know, like there's been a lot of times, I played against, we get in the chat and we talked about, fuck this game, all types of other stuff. But we are definitely better than what we would believe or whatever. We let the gaming rage get to us a little bit, but we're definitely all better. Sometimes you just got to remember, you lose a silly round to some dumbness. You're like, I'm better than this. You just, get it out the way real quick. So that's really about it. Confidence. Confidence is key. Confidence is a major key. If you don't have any confidence, it will be tough for you, especially with this game because I don't think the separation between good players and the best players is that far. I think the game is so easy that two wrong decisions and you can
You
lose.
are dead. You are dead. After if
Yeah,
you guess wrong twice, you are dead.
yeah. So I'm like two wrong decisions and you're wrong. You're dead, and it's like, oh, that don't mean that person's better than you. They didn't make a
They just
mistake.
guessed right. They just guessed right, man. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, shoot, most of the characters have about, on average, about 1,000 health, and some of these combos are really damaging. You can do without meter. Most characters have at least 200 to 300 damage without meter, and you add meter into there, you can get up to 300, 400 damage without using your critical or your super. So it's like two, three combos, and your life is almost gone. Some of the weaker characters got 900, 950 health. That's three combos.
Yeah.
That's three. That's getting touched three times.
Yeah.
That's getting touched three times, and at a higher level of play, pretty much they're maximizing it on almost every touch. They're turning that one hit into 200 to 400 damage, and that's you could have been blocking very well throughout the whole match.
You
You
know,
get touched once, and they're turning that one touch into a high damage combo, and then you're wondering what happened. Yet
Yep.
alone, that's not even counting if you get stunned. So,
That's not even.
shout out to Mika.
Yeah.
So
That's not even counting if you just press a button at the wrong time, and because of the system of the game, you have a crush counter, and they know how to set you up for the crush counter because they know the button's better than you.
yep.
So, like, it does not reward you for guessing wrong. Like you get
no,
penalized heavily for guessing wrong, which I mean that's nothing wrong with
It's
that.
fair.
But
It's fair.
yeah,
wrong with that.
this is definitely fair because Ultra. Now that I sit back and look at it, Ultra was very forgiving.
Hmm.
Ultra was such a forgiving game that you had to be godlike to take advantage of the mistakes. This
Yeah,
game right here,
yeah. This
you
does
gotta
not
do a
require
little
a
bit
lot
of
of
press,
preparation.
and you can go get your damage off for the simple mistake.
Yeah, it is rock paper scissors.
I've had, I've played sets with everybody, and I've got perfected off of two whatever random guesses, or I've caught a couple perfects off of two random guesses. It's the nature of the game. It's
Yep.
that's why I think eventually over time, the game is so risky and so whatever it's gonna slow down. The
Oh
game,
yeah, Daigo's gotten hit. Daigo's gotten hit. He slowed his gameplay down a lot. He's won. I think he's won the last two tournaments he's entered. So like he's gotten hit. Like he's gotten some timeouts. Like he plays it so slow. He doesn't press anything. He will stand there. If you move, he will move. Like it. He has learned that this you can slow this game down, and this is how you win because you want to, even though I said press more buttons, you do want to know when to press your button. And sometimes it's just better to not necessarily press them just randomly, but just like you just stick a button out because you got to get close to get your damage, right? So if you stick a button out and you stick the right button out, you can get your damage, and now you have the advantage in terms of pressure and spacing and the knockdown and the guesses. Like now you control the guessing game. Um, yeah, man. But it's if you try to play this game fast paced and you don't quite have a some semblance of a plan, you will get stunned and you will lose. Like
I
you
have,
got
Quickly.
yeah, in this game I've seen way more comebacks. I'm talking
yes,
like with zero
yes,
health, not on the
yes.
screen. You can't you like why are they still living?
I've noticed that too. Like it's I struggled. That's another thing that I struggled when I was losing. Like I was struggling to close out rounds because you can't just chip. Like, so you really have to make a right guess to get the victory of each round. Only way you can chip out is if super and then they don't have V reversal. Like that's literally the only way you can win with somebody in blocking. Um, so you got to make the right guess. But I had trouble closing rounds, and I've noticed that a lot of players are having trouble closing rounds because slow the game down.
I mean, no chip. You just can't press it on.
You can't. Yeah, you just can't press anything. If you guess right on the throw or you guess right on overhead or low, you're alive until you figure out how to way to open up your opponent. So
And not even that. I feel the easiest way to close around if you got that, just keep mashing jab. You're gonna hit something eventually. Like that's like I've tested that theory a couple of times. Like I've had like one hit to go. I've just mashed out jab. Just something's gonna hit. Something is going to hit. I don't care if I lose this round. I'm gonna see how much priority jab got or if I get the trade or whatever the case may be. And I've seen it like infiltration will put you in the corner and he would just mash out jab. And you can't jump because you can't go nowhere. You just gotta sit there and wait. You know the overhead is gonna come. You know he's gonna press overhead, but yet he still catches you with it. Like it's kind of like it's weird. It's just weird. It's like sometimes you're in a position where you feel like you can get out of it, and then other times you're like, there's nothing I can do. I'm just gonna risk it all, and on this one attack. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's tough though, but out of our last few training sessions, definitely feel like everybody's leveled up. Um, it's just the fact that everybody is wherever we're all at individually, you're just taking that next step. I know with me, it's my consistency in playing more, playing as often as I want to. Sometimes I do have godlike moments to where I, rip off a couple wins. I'm like, oh, all right. There's a lot of times I play Deuce, and Deuce has pissed me off because he gets every crush count that he dishes out for. I play Till, and I can't even jump or do anything. I got to play a ground game because their DP's coming every time. So no matter where we're all at, we all just got to take that next step. And I think life, normal life, real life, outside of the virtual world, has kind of stopped us from that. But we've all been prospering lately. That's a lot of good news spreaded around the chat, good vibes and stuff. Deuce's birthday's coming up. Another positive. So, we're all enjoying life and trying not to get the virtual world get down. But that is our vice. That's our saving grace, though. But,
I thought about it too. And we haven't had a show in so long. We haven't reviewed Ibuki or Jury.
or Ball.
Like either one. Or Balrog, yeah, because Ibuki and Balrog dropped the same day. So all three of these new characters we haven't even gone over at all.
Well, let's go with that. What do we think of these three characters? I'm gonna lead off with Till because Till looks like Balrog without the.
Shit, I'm about to shave my head in a few hours. So, Balrog. Balrog's an interesting character. Like he's high damage, so you're already fearful of a character like that. He's like Zangief, but in the grand scheme of other characters, if you are patient against Balrog, Balrog cannot get in. Even though he has the V skill that goes through fireballs, he has the V skill that he can cancel things into the V skill, into overhead, into all that mix up potential and stuff. A lot of that stuff is unsafe, and a lot of it has a lot of startups. So it's not, if your reactions are okay and you're looking for it, you got to look for it because it's tough to react to. But if you are looking for it, you understand the character and what he's trying to do, then not to say that Balrog is easy to beat because he's not, but you can win your fair share of matches against pretty good Balrogs if you stay solid. Like you don't have to necessarily worry about trying to get the big damage. You get your damage here and there. He has a really good jab, so a lot of times you have to give up your turn when you pressure him. But he has no wake up. He has no wake up. So if you get the knockdown, there's gonna either be V skill. There's nothing that he can do on wake up that would beat damn near anything your character can do. So I think Balrog, I would say low mid tier. Like he's not as bad as Geef. Like he's not Zangief or nothing, but He ain't Chun-Li or Dash or Ryu or characters like that. He's somewhere in that bottom half.
All right.
Yeah, and
What about?
what?
I guess we can go character at a time. Go ahead, do this with Balrog.
Oh yeah, because I was just gonna say, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about Balrog. I wasn't really super hyped for him to come out in the first place. He's not my type of character. At this point, I pretty much only really care to go against him just so I can learn the matchup. He's like Till said, he's pretty much a mix-up character. He has a lot of damage and it's a mix-up, so it's like a fake mind game. Um, it's just to kind of trick you so he can get his hit. And he can do a lot of damage and a lot of heavy pressure. But like Till said, if you're patient, you can beat him. If you're a type of person that's really smart with your mix-ups and just good at kind of conditioning your opponent, then Balrog would be a good character for you. Um, he does not have, like you said, does not have a wake up, and he also does not have a cross up move, meaning he can't jump up and hit you from the other side. So when he's jumping at you and stuff like that, and if he's knocked down, those are two scenarios where you already know it's not much that he can do there. So it kind of limits his options. But he does have decent pushback on a lot of his moves on block. So yeah, they're not safe, but it's still very awkward, and it takes a lot of matchup knowledge and practice to know what you can follow up with to actually punish him. Otherwise, he's going to hit you, you're going to block, and by the time you get a button out, he's going to block as well, or try to frame trap you and hit you with a counter hit. And so it can be quite crazy and scary to go against him because you also don't want to just sit there and block everything because that will be chip. The chip won't kill you, but the chip will get you down to where if you do get hit, you're dead. So you do want to be careful with him. So I like him as a character because it does bring more diversity to the roster. He does play different than all the other characters, and you do have to. It's a whole different type of matchup when you're going against him. Just like if you're playing against a Geef, even though Geef has not that many winning matchups anyway, you still have to respect Zangief's damage. You still have to respect the command throw. But it's just such a matchup where he doesn't have any tools where you know how to play a Zangief once you've played him a few times, even a high-level Geef. It's a mixture of playing runaway and getting your hits in. Balrog is a similar type of situation where you don't want to play too much getaway because he can kind of rush you down really fast because a lot of his moves cover most of the screen. But you can start to learn the rhythm of the match against a Balrog. And if you lose against a Balrog, either they're just really, really good player in general, meaning they have two or three other characters that they're good at, and they could probably beat you with two or three other characters, or you made a mistake. Typically, if it's a fighter playing using Balrog, and they just mop you up, more than likely you made some mistakes and you just don't know the matchup. It's very rare that somebody who's picked up Balrog, they never played the game before and they got good with Balrog that he's just beating you just because. More than likely you made a mistake, unless they're just a great player in general. But how do you feel about Balrog, Corey?
Um, as far as the character himself, by him not having a cross up, that's typical. He's a boxer. It makes sense. Never had a cross up. But they gave him probably the best mix-up high-low game in the entire game. A lot of his stuff is kind of hard to react to, especially with 8 frames, and then you're playing online. Some of it is really hard to react to. You're going to get clipped by it. Um, people say he's high damage. I just don't see it without his V trigger. If he's at a V trigger, I don't think he does a lot of damage. But I think that's also because when Balrog hits you, he's only doing 2-3 hits. So
Right.
his full combo is 2-3 hits, and that's a lot of damage for 2-3 hits. But at the same time, he still got to hit you. So it's kind of his damage is very deceiving. He hit you a couple of times, and you don't even notice that. Oh, I've lost this much health. You probably not stunned, but you got a lot of health missing from you. I think his super is really cool. It goes through almost everything. Like I think that super is awesome, and it reminds me of Karen's super. Like I'm like, oh, is it gonna kill? Is it gonna kill? And boom, you get the KO pop up. He's definitely dope with that. It's Balrog. I like him here because he's more offensive. As y'all said, no wake up attack. A lot of his buttons aren't that good. You just make them look good if you do it from the right ranges.
Right.
If you understand footsies and stuff like that, Balrog is definitely an ideal character for you. But you also got to understand how to be offensive. You can't turtle just like Gal in this game. I don't think you can turtle with Gal. You're gonna lose if you're a turtle type player. And same thing goes for Balrog. If you try to turtle it out, you're gonna get beat because you're gonna sit here and take chip eventually. You're gonna take
Yep.
some chip, and this is gonna keep racking up, racking up, racking up. But Balrog is okay. I'll probably say so far out of the DLC, in my personal opinion, he's probably the weakest DLC character so far because I still think Alex is better than him.
Yeah.
I think Ibuki's better than him, and I think Jury's better than him. That's all the DLC so far, right? And
Um,
Guy
I mean, yeah, and Gal.
is better than him, yeah. So but he's not a bad character. But to go off that, we got Balrog and we got Ibuki around the same time. Deuce, I know Ibube that's your character. Um,
Yeah, I've been waiting for Ibuki. I mean, again, as a disclaimer, I never really been a super great Street Fighter player, but as far as Third Strike and Ultra, I like Ibuki. I've always liked the game style. I like ninjas in any game. So, I mean, my sign name is Ninja Deuce. So, I mean, I like ninjas in pretty much any game. So I'm always gonna go towards a ninja-like character, and so she's the ninja in Street Fighter 5 right now, and I like her. I like her a lot. I like her design. The execution of said design, I'm still getting used to. She's still new, so it's going to take a lot. She's not a character you pick up and start winning with. I'll say that for sure. She has um, pretty much the lowest health available in the game. She has 900 health, and so she gets hit and it hurts. It hurts a whole lot. So you have to play smart with her. She has a lot of mix-ups with her dashes and a lot of resets on her combos. Very technical heavy character. She has a lot of damage, but again, just like Balrog, her damage comes from her V trigger and her mix-ups with her bombs and things of that nature, and all of her resources. You need her resources to get the damage. Her bread and butters without meter is okay. I mean, you can get 200, 250 or so. I think you pretty much without meter, a standard combo, you can only get maybe 250, maybe 260 damage, maybe, and out of nowhere. But that's okay. In the grand scheme of things, it's not anything to shake a stick at, especially since she's so weak. Because if she gets hit, she's going to lose a third of her life if she gets hit. I mean, and so you have to play really smart. I like her V reversal. It's actually really useful. It has a lot of pushback and it does some damage. A lot of the cast, it kind of depends on the character with their V reversal. Either it's going to be a hit or it's going to be an escape. With hers, it feels like a little bit of both, and I do like that. She can still get thrown out of it, but I mean that just comes from being smart and knowing when to put it in. The biggest thing with her is just trying to figure out how to maximize your opportunities when you get them because you don't get a lot of them. She has a lot of quick buttons, and her range is deceivingly great. I like her range, but and then for damage, it's not that great. It's awkward. It's awkward, and it takes a lot to get used to. Funny enough, kind of like I think out of the cast, everybody looks at Nakali as being our big crush counter character. From playing, I play a lot of Nakali as well. I really feel like Ibuki is kind of up there as far as ability to fish out crush counter. She has a lot of really fast crush countering moves, which helps. And that's kind of what Corey was saying earlier. That my crush counter game has gotten a little bit better, but it's more so because her buttons are really good and it's easy to crush on a lot on wake up on media attacks and things of that nature. It's really good, and she can combo out of her crush counters really easy, which is really good, and that's when you can get your 300s and 350 damages off a crush counter, which works. But she's just she can't get hit, man, and that's what's hurting me right now. That's like the biggest thing is she really can't get hit. I think it may be a little bit unfair about her damage. Not so much, more so her resources with the kunai because it's very limited. So if you don't have kunai and you don't have any V meter, you're in a bad spot. You're in a bad spot with Ibuki, so it just takes a lot. I think people are starting to figure out how to use her, but it's going to take a while. Ibuki's going to be one of those characters where she's not going to break into the top half until next year, and it's going to be one or two top tier players to maximize her potential. Because you have to make all the correct guesses, and then high level guesses aren't going to get you too far because you got to know what you're doing as far as Ibuki. I know y'all don't really play her a lot. I know Corey, you picked her up a little bit. But so how do you feel about her so far?
In the long run, as all Street Fighter games that Ibuki's been in, I think she would end up top five character. For the simple fact that when played correctly, I think she has an advantage because she has a way to deal with every single situation, and her reset ability is what keeps her in the game. You know, you got so many options off of different resets, especially with her command dash and such. Also, her V trigger, not the trigger itself, but the activation of it off of a hit and how much damage you can get off of that, even with one, two. Shit, if you got three bars, you can do almost like 700 damage. It feels like sometimes. So I think when it's all said and done, whenever this game is finished, there's no more characters being added. She could potentially be top five, top 10 character in the game easily. But right now, I do know it's kind of hard for her because she is new. She is very squishy, and everybody hasn't taken advantage of all her tools yet. Even Sako, I watched Sako, who was the world-renowned Ibuki player. Even he's struggling in certain situations. But I'm me on the outside looking in. I'm saying, oh, you could have did this and it would have worked. But he's still getting used to all the tools and stuff that she has in this game. But she's definitely a very fun character. When you watch people play her, I'd probably say the two best Ibukis I've seen is Sako and Chris G. And it's crazy because Chris G is probably also the best guy. He's like the best, top two, three characters with multiple characters. So she can do it. Match can be over very fast, and for someone like I play Nash, that's a scary matchup to me. Because Nash has very low stun. It doesn't take much for him to get stunned. So two, three, one or two resets. I've lost. So, but she's definitely a cool character, fun character. I wish she had some of her normal stuff, such as the her kicks. I wish she still had her kicks for range purposes. I like that they made her neck breaker the grab, but I much rather see that be done in a combo. But they did what they thought was best for it, and I think she did turn out pretty well. She definitely turned out well, but as we know with any Street Fighter game, this is far from the ending. So I anticipate within another year or two we will get an update introducing some new stuff or maybe new attacks or whatever that may alter the game and change it a little bit. What about you two? I know you're not a big Ibuki fan, but you coming from that third strike era, you had to deal with a lot of Ibuki tech.
Um, Ibuki is essentially the same character that she's been in since she's been in the Street Fighter series. I mean, there's different moves through each game, but the goal is you got to be filthy. Like you got to be like totally disgusting of a player to where like people question what is wrong with you and why are you treating me this way? Like there's no honor to your gameplay if you play Ibuki. Like your goal is to mix people up. You get one knockdown and you're supposed to win. Ibuki in Third Strike wasn't top tier, not because she wasn't good. It was just better characters than her, man. And like she was not Chun, she was not Yun, she was not Ken because it was easier. It's easier to get damage with those characters than it is with Ibuki. But and the learning curve with Ibuki is so high. Like she has a different jump arc. Her moves come out slower than others. Like her jump heavy kick is slower. It has a weird startup to it. Um, like there's a lot of things that you have to do, and there's a lot of strict timing with her links, especially off of her overhead, her forward and I think it's forward and medium kick
In medium kick, yeah.
that you have to link into it, and that's essential for your gameplay because you're like Dude said, she has sneaky range, but her range is off like her light
Uh-oh. Did we
Think
lose
we
Till?
lost you?
Yep, I think we lost Till.
You lost Till?
I don't know, but yeah, Till was talking about it, and her range are off of her light buttons, and it is rough. I mean, so a lot of her light buttons don't really link into everything else unless you have V trigger where you can cancel stuff into it. But I mean, you can cancel everything into kunai, which helps makes it safe. But then that's the end of your combo. Once you cancel into kunai, if you don't have V trigger, then that's it. So you're only doing maybe 100, a little tick hit. It's not nothing to be scared of. It's just like you hit them and then they backed off a little bit and we're back to neutral. And yeah, her V trigger damage is crazy. You can do 500, 600 damage with all of her resources, and you can pretty much do one bar and you can do almost 500 damage, but you need all your V trigger, and that's still rough. And by the time you get V trigger, you've been hit. So her health is gone at that point, and that's kind of rough when you're already kind of weak.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes her top tier though, because I'm like, if you get that hit, you're never out the match. Like you're never out of it. And I feel like with some characters, sometimes it feels impossible to make that comeback.
That's
With
true.
with her, I'm like, all you need is one hit, even if you confirm off of a jab or a light kick, or a crouching medium punch. You get that one hit, and it's good. You're good. You're straight. There's no issues with it. But we lost Till. I'm gonna see if we can grab him back. We just hit the.
Yeah, so you had a power surge. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I guess we
So
can.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll give him a second so he can try to reboot and come back up. But yeah, but I mean, I like Ibuki. Like I said, if I have it my way, then she'll probably be my main. It's just going to take a while for me to learn all the matchups because with Abuki, you really have to maximize. Yes, you can fish for crush counters, but everything has it for each character and their hitboxes. She has to treat them a little bit different. It's like
Mhm.
a group of five characters here, a group of five characters there, and you have to treat them a little bit different for each matchup based on the ranges and stuff. So her outside, like I use Rashid a lot, I can kind of play a lot of the characters the same. It's only maybe two characters I have to treat differently. But with Ibuki, I feel like every single character I need to learn every little individual matchup, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I do feel like that. I feel like I think with this iteration of Street Fighter, they did a good job of grouping the characters together. Like you could treat this group of characters all the same, treat this group of characters. Like I feel like you got to treat Mika the same way you treat Geef,
Yep.
almost the same way you got to treat Laura. Like Geef, Laura, Mika, you treat the same.
Yep. Those
Ryu,
steps. You got to kind of be aware of them.
yeah, Ryu, Ken, and Cammy, I think you got to treat the same. Reason I say there's the DP, the wake up buttons and stuff like that, like they will go ridiculous. I feel like the same way you got to treat the same way you would treat Bison, it's the same way you treat Nakali.
Yep.
So it's you learn one matchup with one character, there's maybe one or two things you got to alter, but we got Tail back, but yeah, you gotta do that. Also I've noticed back to be on the DLC now that we got Tail back. Um, Tail, you want to finish up what you were saying about Ibuki?
I was just saying that she's very high execution, man. Like it takes so, like you said, is you're gonna lose because you don't know everything, and you don't know how you want to set up everything. So once you learn how you set up everything, then your character becomes super dangerous because now you get to play with people's minds in a way that other characters can't. But yeah, if you got the patience, learn her. If you don't have the patience, play Ryu. That's why I don't play Ibuki
Play for
because
you.
I ain't got the patience. I ain't got the patience for it. So.
Yeah, speaking of patience, um, Jury seems to be kind of a patient character this go around. Last Ultra, she was like a keep out character kind of. I'm throwing fireballs all over the screen. I'm gonna wait till I get some meter, do some damage, but I'm having a hard time understanding what is her end goal, what is her game plan in this iteration of Street Fighter. Like I'm confused, and we got Chris in the group chat. That's his favorite character, his main character, Jury. But even he said, he's having a hard time finding out, what's the goal with her? What are you supposed to be doing? But I kind of put her in the same category with the Buki because once she has her V trigger, the options are endless.
Yep. She's
You
a different
know,
character.
yeah, she's a completely different character, just like Nikali. It's like, oh, I activated feng shui engine. We're gonna go do. Now I can link every button I got on my stick or controller together, and it'll give me some type of combo. It seems like so. Have you guys had spent any time with Jury? Seen anything with Jury?
As far as jury, I mean, I haven't played her just yet, because that's what I'm actually going to end up doing probably today is grabbing the rest of the DLC characters so I can start messing with them. But playing against jury, it really feels at least, and from watching videos, like not so. It's one of two things with her. She has a lot of sneaky frame traps. That she can kind of be safe block strings, really safe block strings. And she has a lot of range with some of her normals. So, and they link into some stuff. So it feels as though she's a good counter hit kind of potential, if that makes any sense, where she can be patient, wait for you to mess up, get in between your gap, and then now she has control of the match. And if you know what to do, you can pretty much maintain control because she has so many safe block strings. She can just have you sitting there trying to figure out when can I press a button. Outside of the obvious invincible reversals, outside of those, a lot of times you really can't really press too much if she does the correct block string, but I think it's a little tight execution wise to do that because it's maybe a couple frames, like 1 or 2 frame gap there. But I've seen, like, I know I watched some video, like I watched Max Player, I watched some other top tier players, and they'll find a couple strings. I know Justin Wong was running with her a couple of days on Twitch, and yeah, she has some nice little 2 hits into her little backflip and then right back into a low jab, and it's like it never ended. And then if you do block, she can mix in the throw. Her walk forward and grab with her leg has so much range, it's deceptive. So she can kind of get you on a little block string, and then you're blocking, and then she can just walk up and throw you. And then if you decide, okay, well, I can't sit here, I'm going to try to take the throw, and she can throw the jab out, and now she's hitting you. And then if you just try to sit there and jab out, then she can counter hit you. So it's a lot of little tight mix-ups there. That's not a lot of damage, but over the course of the match adds up. And then, like you said, come to the middle end of the match, now she has her V trigger, and she can end you with her with her massive damage that she can do at the end of the match. Nice flashy combos for folks who like flashy combos. So they look fun. She looks like a fun character to use. Not usually my type of character, but she does look really fun. I might pick her up myself just to see how it feels. Just kind of learn the matchup. But I think she's good. Another character that I think is a little bit up there. Once people figure out how to use her, she's going to be scary. Her V skill, that almost stage wide dash that she does, it's more effective than it looks. It looks like, oh, I can just jump out of that or I can avoid it. Actually, it hits you a lot more than you think. I thought when we first saw trailers for her, it looked like a silly move, a gimmicky move, but it actually is quite effective. It's hard to block it. I mean, you can block to the other side, but it can hit in the front and in the back at the same time. So, it takes a while to get used to it, and jumping out of it is not as easy as it seems because it hits pretty high in the air. So as you jump up, she can still kind of hit you. So it takes some getting used to how to punish that. So I don't know. I like the character. I think she'll be good as well. Again, another DLC character that's fairly balanced, and I think a lot of people will be able to be effective with her going forward.
What about you, Till? Have you spent any time with Jury? Played against some Jury? What you thinking?
I haven't played with Jury yet, but I have played against a couple juries, and they're still trying to get used to the gimmicks. Like, she's only been out a couple months, so they're still trying to get used to how to set things up. Like, this game is kind of like you have to have a plan in pencil, and what I mean by that is you got something that you want to do, and then as the match goes on, you kind of erase stuff and then fill in stuff, and then you erase stuff and fill in stuff. So, but Jury's like sneaky good. Like, she's another one that takes a high execution, but not because her moves are difficult or her combos are necessarily difficult. It's because she has things that require like setup. So like you can store her fireballs. So you gotta always keep in mind, okay, I can store a couple fireballs, or whatever pressure I do, it must end in a fireball being stored or whatever. So you have to keep in mind what you have stored, as well as what you can do when you don't have V trigger activated and what you can do when you do have V trigger activated. You're playing essentially two characters. But again, she's another one that once you get the execution down, you'll find yourself beating a lot of people and winning a lot of matchups against characters you feel like maybe shouldn't go that way. She You have to be patient against her. If she gets you in the corner, you just kind of got to take a lot of her stuff. But if you win the neutral, if you keep her in neutral, you have more of a shot than she does, because
Yeah.
she doesn't have the move that, like, if you throw a fireball, that move that jumps up and it's like a dive kick. That move is not there no more. So you don't have to really worry about your fireball game getting taken out or your fireball placement being better. But yeah, if you keep her in neutral, you kind of get your straight hits, and you watch out for the reversal wake up attack. Then you got a shot against her. Like, she's like Dude said, she's a balanced character. All the characters are balanced. There's no character that really seems OP. Like, there are really good characters, but there aren't characters that are like truly OP. They're good because of the skill that it takes to play with them. So Jury, like, you got to get good with her. She's not a beginner character, that's for sure. She is not a beginner character. So you just got to get good with her. But once you get good with her, you'll find it'll just be not necessarily easy to win, but you'll win your fair share of matches with that character, especially now that she's only been out a couple months.
I think that's what they were trying to do with some of these DLC characters. And not so much necessarily with Balrog, because they made him the kind of easy press a bunch of buttons character, but with Ibuki and Juri, and what it looks like with Urien coming up, they look like some high execution kind of not your beginner character, to give the high level players something to kind of wrap their mind around. So I think that's good. It balances out the helpings. It makes the game not everybody can just pick up the game and just mash on every character. There's some high execution, some high level characters as far as learning them available now. So that's good.
Shout out to the hackers. The hackers have allowed us to see a lot of Urine tech. Like, I've seen way much more Urine than I'm like, character ain't even out yet. Like, why do I know so much about him?
It's scary, man. I think he's so. I think the whole reason why we haven't gotten him so far is they can't figure out a way to make him not OP. I mean, he just looks terrifying, and like, he just looks terrifying. And they can't. I don't think he's balanced at all. He looks like a fun character to use as far as the stuff that we've seen pre-launch of him. But I think that's why we didn't get him this month, because we should have gotten him this month according to release schedules. But we didn't get him. I mean, well, I say this month, I mean August. We didn't get him, so I'm thinking we probably should get him in September. That's what they said, late September. So we'll see what they have changed from the story mode build and the hacked build of Urien. They probably have to add some weaknesses. They have to basically say, if this happens, he's going to be in trouble. But with his core set of moves and abilities, it looks kind of scary, and I think they don't want to put him in the game and have him be immediately the best character in the game. They don't want to do that.
That might be their intention, you know? That may be their intention. They want him to be the best character in the game overall. That may be why we're getting him last, you know?
Maybe.
But, you know, I do think that the fact that the hackers have broken him, and we're seeing so much stuff that they didn't even know was possible, that they're going back to try to fix. Saying, oh, well, shit, we didn't know this was going to do this much damage. We didn't know that was possible. Let me tune down the damage on this particular combo and fix this algorithm, and so much stuff. And so, I mean,
but that's what you gotta do. Even if you put him out as a finished product, you gotta give room for the players to discover the broken stuff. Like, you can't put too many restrictions on a character that nobody's even really had time with yet. Urien in Third Strike. If he had meter and he got one hit, Now you weren't dead, but you were damn near dead. It wasn't that he did. He was high execution, but he was a charge character. So if you master charge characters, then you can get high damage with Urian at any point, and then it's a repetitive cycle. It was Aegis Reflector, then pressure, then if you got a knockdown, Aegis Reflector again, pressure, knockdown until you died. Like his special moves, like he had some unsafe stuff, like the shoulder tackle was unsafe at some ranges, but for the most part, his buttons were unsafe. So like his sweep has a lot of recovery. He had a lot of range. He probably had the best range on normals in the game. But he was high execution, and so if they want to, they can't make a third strike Urian because Aegis Reflector is his V trigger, but so they're not gonna have the longer combos like he had in Third Strike, but it's still gonna be if he gets the crouch and fierce, the 2-hit crouch and fierce, he can do crouch and fierce into the fireball into shoulder, or crouch and fierce into shoulder into Aegis into shoulder, like all those things are still possible. So like Corey said, sometimes maybe they're just trying to make Urian good, because I mean he is featured in the story, and you don't really know Urian's story even if you played Third Strike really, like you just know that he found Nash after he got blown up and shot up the shit in some cave, and he resurrected him. That's kind of all you know. So if Urian is featured even if a little bit, like maybe they're just trying to make him good. Like it just kind of that's just kind of
I
what they're
mean,
doing.
it'd be
Like
nice to have somebody who can bully Chung Li and Ryu. So,
in Third Strike, Urian beats Ryu. Like maybe not bad, but he definitely beats. He's definitely a better character than Ryu in Third Strike. Um, this Ryu is a little different. I don't know if he can. He'd have to be super good to be this Ryu, because if you play Ryu correctly, Ryu might be the best character in the game. Definitely
yeah,
top 2 or 3.
yeah.
So it's gonna be tough. But yeah, Urian, man, when he drops, he's gonna be a lot of people are gonna play him just because one, he looks cool. I think Urian looks cool, and he's like,
Yeah, that suit is clean. That suit is clean.
I think he's gonna be a nice character for people who aren't used to seeing, who haven't played Third Strike, who would consider Urian a new character to them. He's gonna be a nice addition.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. Aaron definitely looks dope. I kind of want to play him myself. Like he looks pretty dope. He got some fly stuff. I like his critical art. It looks super dope the way it's done. It reminds me of Akuma's critical super from third. That's what it reminds me of. I was like, and I really like that. I wish they would bring that one back a little bit. Um, but he's gonna be dope. He's gonna be. I think he may be. I mean, just looking at what he's capable of and seeing, what the hackers have pulled off already, top 5, easy. I think everything Bison was supposed to be, because when Bison dropped, when we got the game, we thought Bison was like
Yeah.
OP, best
Yeah,
character,
untouchable.
best character to ever live in fighting game history. But then, when we figured it out, no, he's really not that good. He's just good at
Right.
certain matchups. I think Orion he's gonna be everything we thought Bison was going to
Yeah,
be or
because
supposed
he has a throw invincible move with the headbutt.
to. Hmm.
That's already one thing there. And like I said, man, the way you use his button, like good Union players use his buttons, and when they use his buttons, then they build the meter, and then all they do is like they shoulder tackle, and then they make it safe with Aegis Reflector. And then if you're not blocking, because with charge characters, man, you always gotta be conscious of the fact that they are charging or when they are not charging. So if you lose sight of the character holding back, or he walks back a little bit and you stick a button out and Urian shoulder tackles you, it leads to a lot of damage if he has meter. So like you cannot be reckless with your buttons with this character. I'm saying this
I mean,
now.
what if they
Like,
change him and don't make him a charge character? Like that's
that would be sick. Like he would be the best character in the game, because the execution it wouldn't take much to execute with him. He would be the best character in the game by far. Like what makes it tough to play with him is that he's a charge character, so you always got to be cognizant of that. But if you don't have to charge anything, he's the best character in the game.
Well,
Urian would
you
be the
do have
best
to
third.
charge your stuff, and at least in the story mode build, isn't it charged?
Yeah, it's charged. It's charged in the story mode.
We played betas and stuff before, and characters had certain emotions and certain whatever.
But hell yeah,
That's
they was
true.
going to do the MKX thing where you start the second round wherever you are, like whatever your screen position is, and they don't do that now. So you know what I mean? Like they
That's
can
true.
just change it. They say, fuck it, man. Let's not make him a charge character. Let's make him incredible and see what happens.
Just give me my destructible stages. That's all I ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely dope. But we've been at it over an hour. I think it's a good point to end off. We've been
Yep.
talking. Right? I do want to say one thing because I got to stand real quick. King of Fighters 14. They fix the online of the game is so much fun. If you like just to press buttons, you don't really aren't too concerned about doing crazy dumb damage. They have dumbed the game down so much. Anybody can pick up, play, and have some type of fun with it. So I do encourage folks to do that. We are in what I like to call gaming season. We got a lot of games coming out. Normally that's September to December range. So if you guys will give me about 2 to 3 games you're looking forward to, since we support all the communities that you want folks to keep an eye out for.
Go ahead, dude.
All right. Well, obviously, I got to shout out We Got Leaks. WGL community, it's a competitive gaming community. So we've got the best Madden players, the best 2K players out there. Those are our two biggest games, but we also have WWE 2K as well. And if you want to play, if you think you're good at playing Madden, you think you're good at playing an NBA 2K game, definitely check out WeGotLeaks.com. Join one of our leagues. We got several leagues on both consoles, so definitely check that out. I'm not the biggest sports gamer myself. As far as me right now, it's really only the big game that I'm really hyped for. I guess maybe two. I can only really give two. I can't even think of a third one. So one is going to be Recore. That come out
Yeah.
in about a week or two, couple days before my birthday. So I'm hyped for that. Recore looks crazy. It looks like a game I would love to play. Some previewers have said that it's going to have the spirit of a Mega Man game, so that looks cool. So if you haven't seen that, look up some trailers for Recore. It was one of the biggest E3 announcements, a Microsoft exclusive game, so I like that game. Other than that, I always got to play a shooter, so Call of Duty, to me, be honest, Call of Duty's dead. And I know, according to Corey, Battlefield don't exist this year. So the only other shooter that I'm actually hyped for is going to be Titanfall 2. Gears, I'm going to play Gears, get the new Gears of War, but that's more so for nostalgia. I don't really expect that to be a great game, to be honest. The new Gears is just another Gears to me. But Titanfall 2, I'm interested to see how that goes now that it's on both consoles. I've been playing the beta lately, the pre-alpha technical test that's been out for this past week, and it looks clean, it feels good, guns feel great. I think Titanfall is going to be great. I think it was the best shooter when it came out. It just people didn't give it as much time because it wasn't Call of Duty or it wasn't Battlefield. But Titanfall is fantastic. So pretty much Recore and Titanfall 2 are going to be my two games that I can bring up.
Um, I mean, I like you said, I don't really have anything that I'm super hyped for, because I don't know when Cuphead is coming out, and I want Cuphead to come out tomorrow. So
Yeah,
I
great.
don't have anything super hyped for. I mean, I want to play 2K now that it's not a Spike Lee joint. Um, but other than that, man, I'm sticking to this Street Fighter, man. Like Street Fighter and older games. I got a lot of RPGs that came out in the past decade that I haven't played yet. So um, I'm sticking to that kind of. I'm playing backwards if it's not a fighting game. I'm playing things that came out that I didn't get a chance to play when it dropped.
Right.
So that's where I'm at. I'm on Tales of Vesperia. I'm on Eternal Sonata. Those things I need to play soon. So I'm not really. I don't have anything that's coming up that I'm super. I do want to play Recore though. Recore looks super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost all hope because Cuphead ain't
That
coming
keeps
out.
getting pushed back. I'm worried.
It came out over the summer though. I do like Unravel, yo. I gotta play that again. That joint was nice. But yeah. Recore is probably the one future game that I'm really looking forward to.
Outside of I probably say for myself outside of Street Fighter and King of Fighters because I definitely want to get good at KOL. Street Fighter, I feel like I'm right there at a breaking point to where like I'm about to hit that fifth wall, get through it. I probably say I'm probably like Till, living in some nostalgia purposes. I'm getting if you've never played Darksiders 1 or 2,
Yes.
Darksiders 1 is going to be remastered, dropping soon. I think it's October. It's only gonna be like $20. Definitely play that game. It's definitely fun. If you like the first one, you'll definitely enjoy the second one. Dishonored 1 was an amazing game to me, and they're giving me the second one coming up soon as well. That one is definitely going to be, I think it's going to be an amazing game. But as Till said, Spike Lee is no longer involved with 2K Productions. So I think both 2K basketball and wrestling is going to be two of the best games this fall. That's probably my four that I'm looking forward to outside of just grinding on what I already got here, trying to get better with it. But yeah, as Deuce said, definitely shout out We Got Leads, giving us a platform, definitely holding us down, letting us look out for it. You mentioned the 2K. I just mentioned the 2K games that's coming out. Log in, sign up, join the leagues. They're definitely fun. Got them on both consoles. You catch a couple RKOs through tables or catch a couple aloops off the backboards. Come join the fight club, get a couple perfects, catch these taunts in the words of Woods. Uh,
Yeah, you're gonna get taunted.
yeah, and once again, sorry that we were gone for so long, but we back. We're gonna try to get back within another week or two, get to you guys because we definitely got a lot more to talk about because so much has happened. Uh,
Yeah,
but,
ECTs this weekend. East
yep.
Coast this weekend.
hmm Yep, most definitely. All the tournaments is coming up. We're getting around to the end of the Capcom Pro Tour, so a lot of stuff is happening. A lot of people trying to get these points to get these last minute qualifiers. So look forward to see a lot of awesome gameplay, a lot of top tier action. I'm interested to see what Infiltration is going to do now that he's top man on the board. Ain't got much to do. Justin Wong get his second place. He got all the points in the world. He ain't really got to do too much more of anything. So it's going to be a good closeout to the year for the fighting game community. Um, we got Injustice coming up. We're still getting more information about that. MKSL, interesting to see what that's going to do now that Sonic Fox is in college and say he won't be participating.
We get a new Blaze next month.
Oh
That's
yeah,
pushed back, Bruce. It's pushed back.
Oh, you got pushed back again?
Yeah, man. I
oh,
just looked it
I
up.
missed that.
Yeah, it's pushed back. The release date is the last day of the year, so who knows when that can ever drop.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's never good when they give you December 31st.
yeah. December 31st, the release date, you're like, oh, well, this could be any time now. So I don't know, man. But fellas, got any closing remarks?
No,
Okay.
that was it for me. Like I said, we got leagues coming up. We're doing big things in this new season. Like I said, that's why it's season 2 for us because it's a new season for We Got Leagues as well. So all of our new games, it's fall is gamer season. So it's finally here. Check out We Got Leagues TV, new YouTube channel that we got going on. So it's going to be a lot of gaming coverage coming out of We Got Leagues. We're about to revamp our website. We have a lot of more content coming at you from all of our leagues. Everything's ramping up, so it's about to be an exciting time. We have our Twitch channel. We Got Leagues Twitch channels. We're going to start going 24 hours. We're going to have somebody playing something all day, all week. So it's
yes.
going to be a lot of stuff going on. So just coming down the pipeline. So definitely stay tuned to WeGotLeagues.com. Check us on Twitter at We Got Leagues as well. And other than that, man, I appreciate you guys tuning into the Fight Club. We're always welcoming new body bags if folks want to get in and press these buttons. Soon as Urian is released, that's when we're going to have our next We Got Leagues Street Fighter 5 tournament. We've basically just been waiting for the roster to be full. So probably that week after Urian drops, we'll have another tournament because it'll be kind of a Urian, DLC is finished kind of party tournament, and open that up to everybody on the interwebs, and see how that goes. So just to give y'all a heads up, sorry we haven't given you news for it. Basically, been waiting for that release date for year end for to announce that next tournament. So other than that, man, appreciate you guys. Till, you got anything for the folks?
Nope, I finished my beer on camera, and that was my objective.
There it is.
My white henny is all gone, so it's time to go get food now.
Yeah, time to
So
go do stuff. Get into the food.
follow us, man, at Twitter. We got leagues. At Twitter, Ninja Deuce. On Twitter, The Till Show. On Twitter, at Corey Bliss. We're definitely here to help. Any questions, concerns, anything we can do, we're always here. Me and Till are probably the most two active outside of Deuce. You know, he's a family man now, so he's out there and as active with the other folks and outsiders as much as he used to be. But still hit him up. We're always answer any questions. We're walking you to the league with a jump-in session. You know, you gotta go through the gauntlet.
Word.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. First episode of season 2. We will catch you guys on the next one.